Before we head into the video, I'd love to give a shout out to the sponsor of the channel, RL Exchange. Now, RL Exchange is a great way to buy Rocket League items and credits on any platform at the cheapest prices so that you can build your dream setup. Make sure to go and check out their website using the top link in the description and use code TXC to get yourself 3% off your order. I'm going to be giving away a Titanium White Octane every 1,000 subscribers on the channel. If you would like to enter, all you need to do is subscribe to the channel, turn post notifications on, drop a like on the video, and then finally head over to the Discord server. The link is in the description down below, and then just go to the giveaway section and make sure to react with the party emoji. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be teaching you how you can make 5,000 credits profit a day in Rocket League. There are a couple methods that I'm going to be running through. Each are a little bit different, but they still get a ton of profit. Now, recently, I've been doing a Nothing to Alpha Cap series. We're around episode 30, I think, right now, which is crazy. I'm around 70,000 credits inventory value, and I'm going to be just showing you some of the methods that I found most useful in my series. I was trading for around 2 hours yesterday, and I made around 3,000 credits profit. I used to trade around 8 hours a day, so going by yesterday's analytics, I would have been making around 12,000 credits profit a day. So it's definitely possible to make at least 5k profit a day. You just need to put in the dedication and quite a lot of time. Okay, so the first method is going to be buying really high demand items for a little bit below their minimum value and then reselling them. And some of these items might be painted octanes, painted standards, black markets such as Dissolver, Mainframe, Dueling Dragons that still have a really high demand, and also some painted Fennecs. I know White Fennec, White Zombas, they're really good for making profit. And when I'm trading, I'm aiming to buy maybe a White Fennec for anywhere between 100 and 200 credits below the minimum value. And because of its high demand, it's easy to sell, so I can then flip it for that minimum or the mid value just because it is really easy to sell. Now, if you don't know how to tell if an item has high demand, there are a couple of ways to figure this out. First of all, if you search up RL Insider on Google, Safari, whatever search engine you use, then what you can do is look at a trending last 24 hours bar at the top of the page, and it will basically tell you what people are searching up the most, and usually this will directly translate to the highest demand items in the game. So in that bar, there will be items such as a White Octane, which has really high demand. I know it's a little bit expensive. There will also be other painted octanes, painted standards. White Fennec is going to be in that bar as well, and you know that those items are going to be in high demand. Now, if you do manage to pick up items such as Dueling Dragons, Mainframe, Dissolver, the black markets that I mentioned earlier, you're going to want to try and sell them on for their minimum value on RL Insider. Make sure you are selecting the right platform for that as well. However, if you do manage to buy any octanes or standards for anywhere between 100 and 200 credits below the minimum value, try and get the mid value for this item. That is the value between the minimum and the max price on RL Insider. So for example, a Crimson Octane right now is 1.5 to 1.7 on Xbox, so the mid value would be 1.6k, and I just try and get this mid value for these high demand items because they're probably the highest demand items in the game. And even though Rocket League trading has been dying off a little bit, people still will be willing to pay a little bit more for those really high demand items. Now, there is one really major thing to cover, and that is how do you actually buy these items if they are in high demand and therefore pretty easy to sell? Now, that is a very valid question. I'm going to do my best to answer it. Basically, it's sort of down to the way you word your post and message people. So when I'm making a post, I'm using the Xbox Looking For group just because I trade on Xbox. Looking For group is always really active and there's loads of traders going around. Because I'm over 10,000 credits on my Nothing to Something, I'm also capped at 10,000 credits because of my account level. The post that I would make is have 10,000 credits, want offers, and then people will just offer their items on my post, and I'll just quickly give them a message and sort of just offer for their items. If they message me and they have items which I'm not interested in, I'll just straight away cut off the conversation because I know it's not going to lead anywhere and it would just sort of waste my time. So if someone messages me and says, "Hi, I've got a load of painted limiteds, what would you do for them?" I'd literally just say NTY, move on, and I'd try and aim for those high demand items which I mentioned earlier, which I'll underpay maybe 100 or 200 credits for, and then I'll just list them straight away, resell them for either that min or the mid value if they are like really high in demand, such as the octanes and standards, which again I mentioned earlier. However, if someone is interested in my post and says, hi, I've got a black standard, white standard, painted octane, anything that I'm interested in that's high in demand, I'll message them back and say, hey, the market's pretty dead right now, and then basically what I'll do is my first offer will be a really bad offer. So say they're trying to sell me maybe a black standard, I'll offer 200 credits below the minimum value, and chances are they'll say no to this, but then I'll slowly work my offer up towards the minimum value so that they have a higher chance of saying yes to it. So for example, my first offer will be 2.1k. If they say no, I'll offer 2,150. If they say no again, I'll offer 2.2k. And sometimes I do get this. However, again, if they say no to my offer of 2,200 credits, I'll just move on, find someone else, and just try and get trades from different people. Now, I think where people go wrong with this is they take too long to message people, or they're not messaging enough people. They may be messaging 1 or 2 people, not getting any trades, and then just giving up because they can't be bothered to put too much time into trading. However, with my post, I might get maybe 5 or 10 people interested. I'll decline the ones I'm not interested in, message all the people that have items that I am interested in, and then hopefully I do get a trade. But if I don't, I'll just list up my post again, message all those people, decline the ones I'm not interested in again, and then just sort of message the ones with the items that I want. Obviously, the more amount of people that you message, the higher chance you have of being successful with your trade. So just try and message as many people as possible with offers for their item. Don't worry if they say no, even if they just say lol or haha. Loads of people say that to me. You just got to move on. If they are being really toxic, just block them. But at the end of the day, you are trying to make profit, so you will probably get people that just say no straight away to your offers, because obviously you are lowballing. But hopefully eventually you do find someone that is struggling to sell their item, even though it is high demand, because Rocket League market is pretty dead right now. So hopefully you do run into someone that is struggling to sell their item, therefore they give it to you for a quick sell. When messaging someone, it does often also help to say something in chat such as market's pretty dead right now, just so that they understand that you know that trading is very difficult right now, and then sometimes that will lead to them giving you a better deal just because they are struggling to sell the item, and then they also know that you know their item will be hard to sell. So hopefully that makes sense. If anybody has questions about that, please do leave it in the comments. I'm always happy to give you a reply. Also, if you are trying to sell items, I would highly advise you download apps such as RL Trading Post and RL Garage. They're just apps that are dedicated to Rocket League trading, so you are probably bound to find people on there that are interested in your items. It's not usually too great with buying items for below the minimum value, just because people that are on those apps know quite a lot about trading. They're not really going to be quick selling their items just because they know that they can get a better deal somewhere else, and they're pretty good traders. But for selling items, it's really good because people might just want a specific item, you might have it, and then you can just easily sell it to them. Another thing I do just want to mention is that it's very important to choose a time for trading. For example, I like to trade around 7 to 10 PM just because I know that there's going to be the most people online for me in that time. Trading around lunchtime usually doesn't work for me just because there's not many people online that are trading. The evenings are 100% better, but also I usually trade in weekdays now, so most people will be in work or school around 9 till 3 or 4, so they're really bad times for trading. So in the evenings for me are definitely the best time, so around 7 PM and later in England. Maybe USA around 3. I'm pretty sure we're around 8 hours ahead, I'm not too sure. But yeah, probably around 3 to 5 for USA. I'm not really too sure in the other countries. I can't go through all the time zones, but that is just something I would suggest you trade in the evenings if you're in England, because it's so good for trading. It's definitely prime trading time. Now, the second method I'm going to suggest is quite opposite to this, and it's actually going to be buying hard to sell items for way below the minimum value, and then it's going to sit in your inventory for days or maybe weeks because it is hard to sell, but eventually you will get it sold and then you get the profit. So basically what I do is I aim to buy items such as painted black markets, which are really hard to sell, maybe painted dices, tunicas or sunbursts, just because they're really hard to sell, and I'll buy maybe dices. I'll aim to buy them for anywhere between 500 to 1000 credits below the minimum value, and then they'll literally just sit in my inventory for days or weeks. Eventually I'll get them sold. Again, I'll be listing them up on both RL Trading Post and RL Garage, and hopefully eventually somebody does get interested in this item, buys it for credits, and again I'm going to be trying to sell these items for the minimum value. There's no point in trying to get more because it's already a very hard to sell item. So yeah, just try and get the minimum value. Now, there's not really much explaining to do about this because once again, I'm using the same post, have 10,000 credits, want offers, and I'll also be listing those up on RL Garage, RL Trading Post. It's pretty similar to the first method. It's literally just hard to sell items instead of easy to sell items, and then you're paying a different amount below the minimum value. So just to sum up, high demand items you'll want to buy for anywhere between 100 and 200 credits below the minimum value. More if possible, but I doubt people will be selling their high demand items for too much below the minimum value. And then in contrast, you've got the hard to sell items that you want to buy for maybe 500 to 1,000 credits below the minimum value. That will sit in your inventory for a pretty long time, but eventually you'll get it sold and you'll get a decent amount of profit. Hopefully that does all make sense to you, and hopefully you have enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you have any questions once again. But yeah, that is going to be the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Again, thank you for 17,000 subscribers on the channel. That's absolutely insane. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications if you haven't already. Let's try and get 150 likes on this video. But anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
Me.